In Houston, Texas, for example, 16,000 homes got foreclosed on, and these people didn't all of a sudden become bad people. They just couldn't make their mortgage payments. And it doesn't matter if they've been paying extra principal payments against their mortgages, and they called their mortgage banker and said, hey, I calculate I'm about 5 years ahead, and so I'm just going to coast. No, it didn't matter how much they paid in extra principal payments against the mortgage. The next mortgage payment is due, and if you get behind, 3 months, they can start foreclosure proceedings, and that's why 16,000 homes got foreclosed on in Houston, Texas. They had too much equity in their property, but they couldn't get to it. And so that's why in 1980, we had 3 things happen to us we never dreamed would happen simultaneously. A supervisor in the firm I was with was dishonest, embezzled some money while they investigated him for 9 months. 3 of us had our incomes frozen, and all 3 of us got behind on our mortgages. Now, I fortunately had a duplex I sold that had equity, and I brought my delinquent mortgage current. And I had a timeshare at a ski resort that I sold for triple what I paid for it, and brought the delinquent mortgage current a second time. But not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel, not knowing how long I was going to be without an income, we put the house on the market and we listed it for $295,000. No takers. When there's more supply than demand, values plummet. I lowered it down to $285,000, $275,000, $265,000, $195,000. Now, I will never forget the day my wife and I went into the county courthouse on the courthouse steps, and at the sheriff's auction, we watched that beautiful home get foreclosed on. Now, I went out that very day and bought another home with no cash, no credit, because my properties that I purchase have nothing to do with whether I have cash or credit, and that's another topic. The point is, the mistake I made, I thought because the house was worth twice what I had into it, that was a good thing. That $150,000 of equity was nothing but a number on a sheet of paper if I could not access it. So I learned that lesson, and the next time my house went down in value significantly was in 2008 to 2009. And my home went down in value from about $1.5 million, $1.5 million down to $1.1 million, $400,000. But I didn't lose a single dime because I had kept my equity separated from the property. And I had critics out there that went, neener, 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 Mr. Andrew, you're underwater. You owe more on your house than it is now worth. I was in control. Did I care? I never missed a beat with my mortgage payment. I had a bunch of money that was liquid and safe in my favorite financial vehicle, which I call the laser fund, which was compounding tax-free at 8% net, cash on cash. My mortgage at the time was 4%. How much more is 8 than 4? Okay, don't say 4, it's 100% more. I was making twice as much tax-free interest on my money than the net cost of the mortgage. So on that $400,000 of equity, that if I would have plowed that money into the mortgage, I would have lost it for sure when the house went down in value. It would have taken several years to make back that loss. I didn't lose a dime. I was making $32,000 the very first year on that $400,000. And the net cost of the mortgage is only $16,000, okay? Would you hire an employee for, $16,000, or would you buy a widget machine for $16,000? That made you an extra $32,000. That's 100% return on equipment cost. Are you getting it? So I was in control, and that's why I had been teaching people, you know what, if you own real estate, there's only 2 ways I would recommend. Either mortgage to the hilt and keep all of your money in a separate vehicle that's liquid safe, compounding at a rate of return that maybe is 100% more than the net cost of the mortgage. This is how money works, but keep it liquid. Otherwise, wait until you have enough money to totally pay it off, and then you can have it free and clear if you want, but the property will go up or down in value regardless of how much equity or money you have tied up into it. But see, real estate equity is not liquid when you need it. It is not safe from loss of principal because real estate values go down at least once every 7 to 10 years during these cycles, and it does not earn a rate of return. when you separate it, it can earn a rate of return double the net cost of the mortgage, and this is simply how money works. So this applies to rental properties, commercial properties. My commercial building in 2019 to 2020, I was able to maintain the liquidity because I actually had a first, second, third, and fourth mortgage on that property, and I came out ahead. I have a friend, a wealthy landlord who is a billionaire, and he kept all of his commercial buildings mortgaged to the hilt, and during the COVID-19, he was able to weather it when he had so many vacancies and people move out because he was in control of that money because it was not tied up in all this extra money that a lot of real estate investors shell out in extra principal payments, and then they're trapped and they lack liquidity because they leveraged without liquidity. Okay? Leverage without liquidity is stupidity. Now, if this is resonating with you, I want you to come and learn about how to optimize assets and minimize taxes. This is one small little concept. If you live in the greater San Francisco Bay Area, get ready to jot down the dates and the cities. We're coming to the third week of January to teach free half-day educational events called Retire by Design. We're coming to Morgan Hill, Palo Alto, Walnut Creek, Dublin, and Sacramento. We'll be in Morgan Hill at the Coyote Creek Golf Club, January 18th. That's a Wednesday in the morning. That afternoon in Palo Alto at the Elks Lodge, Wednesday afternoon. The next day, we're in Walnut Creek at the Boundary Oak Golf Course, January 19th, Thursday morning. That afternoon in Dublin at the Ranch Golf Course, Thursday afternoon. The next day, Friday morning, we're in Sacramento at the Granite Bay Golf Club, January 20th, Friday morning. You must call now and register because seating is limited. The number is 1-888-76-RADIO. Call 1-888-767-2346. Register at 1-888-767-2346. 1-888-767-2346. 1-888-767-2346. 8876-RADIO. This is Three-Dimensional Wealth Radio. Hi, Doug Andrew here. I've been blessed to have many books that I've written become bestsellers, but my most recent book, The Laser Fund, I'm most excited about. I would love for you to have a copy of this book because it teaches how to diversify and create the foundation for a tax-free retirement. I have spent years, in fact, it is over 45 years of experience helping people optimize financial assets, minimize unnecessary tax, and empower their true or authentic wealth. This book is so unique because it's actually two books in one. There's over 200 pages from a left brain approach. If you're the kind of person that loves to learn by reading and getting numbers and charts and graphs, there's over 200 pages of illustrations explaining why the laser fund can be the best solution for all kinds of financial objectives, from college funding to retirement to emergency funds, working capital for business or personal or real estate. And if you're more a right brain person, you aren't really into numbers, you learn by stories, you flip this book over and you read it the other direction. It's over 100 pages. It contains like 62 chicken soup for the financial soul stories, actual client examples. We changed their names to protect their privacy, but you will learn by reading these stories and examples of how people have empowered themselves financially by using the laser fund. So call now, 1-888-76-RADIO is the number, and you can attend one of our educational events, and I will gift you a copy of the Laser Fund. That's 1-888-767-2346. Please join us and learn. Receive my book. Call 1-888-767-2346. That's 888-767-2346. Three-Dimensional Wealth Radio. Your family bank can make 100% to 500% rates of return. In the previous segment, I was talking about if you're a real estate investor, if you own rental properties, why savvy real estate investors will usually hold their properties one of two ways, either mortgaged to the hilt and keeping your equity separated in a position of liquidity and safe from